We are witnessing the onboarding of the next major wave of blockchain users, and it is starting through use cases and companies that are already integrated with some names that we know, like for an example, Ripple. And we're going to be talking about it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we check out this post by Wrath of Kahneman just recently, it's an article on a Ripple partner, Onafriq, which was previously MFS Africa, and we can see that this is providing interesting insight on how payments are developing. It notes their position as a company linking mobile wallets and cards across borders. Interoperability, I wouldn't have understood it otherwise. So this is an article that got written back in the middle of June, and it's how interoperability between mobile money and card enables Africa's access to global financial systems. Let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits. And this is a very interesting overall insight on what's happening behind the scenes. What's going on and how can we bank the unbanked? The phone is the answer. Phones are the key to pretty much everything. You see people utilizing phones for, payments, for, watching TV. I mean, pretty much everything that you do on a day-to-day basis could be done through a phone. I mean, obviously, yeah, there's the typical things that can't be, but for the most part, the phone is now one of the biggest tools that everyone has, and it's in their back pocket. And now we are starting to see the phone become a wallet. And if we go over here through ChatGPT, I summarize this. We have mobile money has significantly advanced financial inclusion in Africa, integrating previously unbanked populations into the economic system. According to GSMA's 2024 report, registered mobile money accounts grew by 12% to 1.75 billion in 2023, with international remittances via mobile money reaching nearly $29 billion and merchant payments increasing by 14% to about 74 billion. In Kenya, M-Pesa dominates the market, allowing users to conduct various transactions easily, although international use remains limited. Despite the rise of mobile money, global merchants often do not accept it, hindering Africans' ability to engage in global commerce. This gap is bridged by card payment systems, which remain popular and necessary for international transactions. Increased interoperability between mobile money and card networks is essential for integrating African economies with the global financial system. This involves overcoming technical, legal, and regulatory barriers that have historically created a fragmented payments ecosystem. Advancements in payment technologies and strategic partnerships such as Onafriq's acquisition of GTP are driving this interoperability. Users can now seamlessly move funds between mobile wallets and cards with digital cards embedded in wallet apps. Major players like Visa and MasterCard are adapting to collaborate with mobile money platforms, demonstrated by MasterCard's $200 million investment in MTN's fintech division. As Africa and the world become more interconnected, facilitating easy, secure, and transparent cross-border payments is crucial. Achieving interoperability between mobile money and card systems will create a more inclusive and accessible financial landscape, enabling seamless transactions regardless of location. And yeah, I mean, this is a huge, innovation, because most of these areas, a lot of these individuals still have a phone, but they don't have access to, financial services, banking services. And now this is changing the game. Now, also remember, back in March, Subjective Views put out a great post, and its Ripple partner Onafriq, formerly MFS Africa, is tackling a $2.7 trillion market. Onafriq, the Pan-African payment system, which is a private sector innovation, is responsible for linking 500 million mobile wallets across 40 countries. Onafriq's integrated network redefines cross-border transactions, making payments seamless and effortless across the continent. Check this out. This is the managing director at the Monetary Authority of Singapore at Japan's FinTech Festival 2024.
Cross-border payments connectivity is also being achieved outside the traditional public rails. For example, we have private sector innovations like Onafriq, a pan-African payment system that seamlessly connects 500 million mobile wallets across 40 countries in the continent. Onafriq's integrated network of mobile network operators, money transfer operators, and banks has simplified payments and transactions across the continent.
And this is a huge use case for blockchain as well, right? Because, we know that Ripple and Onafriq are working together to simplify, cross-border payments, how to, make the transaction faster, cheaper, all that kind of stuff. And this could be a great way for blockchain technology to be integrated with major amounts of individuals and users, right? Not only that, but also value exchange. The amount of value that could be moved over blockchain technology 24/7, 365, guys, the potential is absolutely massive. But this is 500 million mobile wallets. They already have 500 million mobile wallets tapped in on the network. So just think about the significance of that. And also, we know back in November of last year, Ripple expanded with Onafriq into not only Africa, but also the Gulf states, UK, and Australia. And back then, we know that Onafriq had access to 400 million mobile wallets. So in a very short amount of time, they've added over 100 million plus new mobile wallets to their network. And we also see Ripple really kind of highlighted in the fact that they are covering 90% of the FX market. So, Ripple has so much expansion that they're covering pretty much everything. So when the time is right to, really kind of switch over to blockchain-based payments, they're there at the forefront of this with names like Onafriq. Now, also building on top of this, we have over here, and this is a report from Convera. This is the rise of digital wallets and what it means for FX. So the reason why I want to really kind of bring up the fact that Ripple does cover 90% of the FX market. It's because these are a game changer for the FX market. Like, everything is changing. We have down here that digital wallet adoption surged during the pandemic, and analysts expect rapid growth to continue. In fact, Juniper Research predicts that more than half the world's population will be using digital wallets in 2 years. The report forecasts more than 5.2 billion people will use e-wallets in 2026, up from just 3.4 billion in 2022. A huge growth of 53%. Think about that. 5.2 billion people utilizing e-wallets, which is basically, mobile wallets, digital wallets, whatever, right? Like, this is a game changer. And we have here new opportunities in FX payments with digital wallets. Because digital wallets can be more inclusive than legacy banks in many markets, especially in countries where women have not always had access to or direct control over their finances. Meanwhile, for industries that use large numbers of independent contractors, digital wallets present a convenient way to pay people directly with fewer intermediaries. Insurance, healthcare, assisted living, and all forms of media and entertainment are already actively using digital wallets for quick and easy paydays, according to Bank of America, which, by the way, wants to utilize XRP. Like, we're now starting to see that shift happening in real time from, the old traditional ways to newer ways, even when it comes to, phones being the key payment provider, right? Like, phones are now the wallets. And that's where we start to kind of look at how big is this going to be? Like, what type of game changers are going to be happening behind the scenes? And well, this integration with bank accounts combined with greater familiarity and trust in digital wallets may further fuel adoption and increase the appeal of tokenization. The bank report says tokenization of supplier data can reduce both fraud and the administration burden of vendor master data. So, this is integrating pretty much everything around blockchain. And this is where we start to kind of see the vision unfolding around how we're going to transition to new payment sources and really kind of cut out banks. I mean, banks are basically useless at this point in time. Obviously, banks will still play a role, but not as substantial as they are currently. This is where the phone becomes the bank. This is where you can basically bank yourself through DeFi as well. And we even have here that Bank of America explains the key to these payments is tokenization, whereby the user's card or bank details are retained by them and only an alias or token is shared with merchants. Like, again, evolution at its finest. And this was a report from April 1st. And this is 5.2 billion mobile wallets, or digital wallets in this case. Now, also talking about mobile money and, phones being tapped in, let's talk about Thunes, right? Because specifically in Africa, we know that Ripple is becoming a big name. Over here we have, this is the future in Africa. A phone is like a bank, a store, a TV, and a government portal. This is from XRP Drops, and this is quoting Caleb Maru, who is uncovering tech in Africa. And we have reminder, Ripple partner Onafriq is the network of networks in Africa. And what's funny about this is everyone is forgetting Thunes. If we look at Thunes, they have been absolutely killing the game. Here we have back in March of this year, just for an example, Thunes and Visa expand digital wallet partnership to Asia and Africa. This is a big use case, and it's really kind of, streamlining digital wallets. It's building upon the fact that digital wallets are an easy to use, rapid and secure payment method surging in popularity. More than 60% of the world's population is expected to use them by 2026. And as we continue to build on top of this, right, it's a huge use case. It's a huge focus because, again, as we really look at digital wallets and how can we really make them better, well, we really kind of focus on the underlying technology, and we focus on Thunes as well in this case because of the connections back to Thunes with Ripple, which I will get to here in a second. But also back in October of last year, we have Thunes and Access Africa team to boost cross-border payments for 13 African countries. Again, building on top of the fact that we need to have more interoperability and frictionless cross-border payments, and this could be done through really kind of connecting mobile wallets to pretty much everything else. Again, a focus on mobile wallets. Now, also, here we have from July 10th of last year as well, and it just kind of shows you how big of a piece of the picture Africa is becoming. Again, it's going to start in these areas that are ripe for disruption through payment technology, and we have how to improve payments interoperability in Africa. And even within this, we see fintech companies have brought Africa into a new digital age. Today, the continent accounts for 70% of the world's mobile money transfers, a $1 trillion market. Despite the popularity of digital payment solutions, the lack of interoperability between platforms, providers, and countries hampers financial inclusion and economic efficiency in Africa's payment landscape. And what's crazy about this is they even mention some of the names addressing payments interoperability. We can see that these efforts were discussed at the Inclusive FinTech Forum, and the names that actually joined, it was expert panelists from Ripple, Swift, Circle, and Mohaloop. And we know Mohaloop has Ripple tapped in. Swift, we've speculated on if Swift was working with Ripple. Again, we've talked about it in the past, but it's just crazy to me that DLTs are now becoming a big focus point. And remember who Thunes is working with. Thunes is partnered with Ripple, and even more recently, Thunes highlighted Ripple's Interledger protocol, which aims to create a standardized protocol for connecting different payment networks, both blockchain-based and traditional-based, in its new white paper. Big shout out to XRP Drops for this. So think about this. As we're focused on interoperability and how we can improve payments interoperability in Africa, and we know Onafriq is working with Ripple, I think that it's safe to assume that Ripple will be a big leader in the overall payments revolution that's happening in Africa right now. And remember, Thunes has 3 billion mobile wallet accounts tied to it, 4 billion bank accounts as well. And if we scroll down here, we can see their dominance in Middle East and North Africa, as well as even Africa itself. I mean, this kind of just shows you how substantial Thunes really is. Again, having that connection with Ripple is very significant, and it's shown you that they do play a big role in what's happening in terms of improving payments in Africa and making sure that this, revolution, this evolution of payments technology as well happens. And Ripple and XRP will be at the forefront of this. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because I'm free content. You guys are more welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.